What makes a great, I repeat, a great SDET? After 3 years as an SDET, I am looking for advice on how to grow in my role. I'm quite shy and rarely speak up during meetings or can't think of anything to bring up. I am good at programming and generally do well figuring out things on my own, but improving communication is often a bullet point in my performance reviews. What do other SDETs typically say or bring up in their team meetings? This is such a good one. Oh my goodness. I have to give up. I have been mostly silent participant during daily stand-ups and team meetings, taking notes about new features, bugs, and only really asking questions if something doesn't make sense to me or I found a bug slash issue. My job is primarily creating automated tests, and if I run into issues, I can typically resolve them by sending a chat message to my team rather than waiting for a scheduled meeting. I often feel like a non-essential part of the team and would like tips on how to make myself more useful to my team and my company. One more time. That right there, my friends, is a question. That's a great question. And let's get the show on the road. So, what makes a great SDET? So, I want to take it away from just SDET in particular. What makes a great QA, whether you are a QA engineer, SDET, QA specialist, whatever the case may be, whether you're a developer, whatever your role is, what makes you great at it? And you have a good point. Lack of communication is a problem if you want to be more useful and, like bring more value to your company, to your team. You have excellent knowledge. 3 years as an SDET, you can do a lot of things. You can figure out a lot of things. But the thing is, you are handcuffing that information because you're an introvert, right? When I would say when most people got into, tech, it was because they were introverted. They would rather like talk to their computer than talk to other people, right? So of course, I am very, very introverted as well. But for the most part, I've always been, I would get nervous and stuff like that, but I would still do, presentations and meetings and things like that. And but the thing is, when I start getting comfortable talking about what I know what I'm talking about, then I start going off and I feel like, but that's the thing. You need to practice speaking to whoever. See, me, the way that it helped me was speaking to anyone who's watching now, right? And being able to interact, being able to do more than one thing at a time, being able to shift focus, like doing a stream. There's so many moving pieces that you have to be mindful of. So that's how I got better at speaking. Like, and it's funny, right? The other day, I was talking to one of my tech barbarians who I recommended to, like, I always recommend to my tech barbarians, create little content about the things that you're learning and share that. Put it on LinkedIn, and that way you're gonna get more confident speaking and sharing your knowledge or information. Because guess what? When you get into a company, I'm sure as an SDET you've seen this. Like when you're in the sprint reviews, you're gonna have to present certain things, and sometimes you're gonna have to think of stuff on the fly, things like that. So being able to do that, like, see, and here's the thing: there's nothing wrong with being introverted. But you need to know that, like, you need to be able to go out there and speak in front of people, and then once you're done, then you can go back and you can decompress from all of that. But it's imperative that you are able to communicate. Another way you can become a better SDET is present stuff, learn something, and then share it. Share it to the software engineers. Share it to the other QAs, right? those are the key things that's going to bring more value, like coming up with new ideas on how to do things. And a lot of times, right, and I've done this in the past, is I would learn how to do something and then I'll do it, and then I don't tell anybody about it, and because I figured it out. But no, you have to broadcast your wins, and that's why on this channel, whenever you come up, and Darcel will tell you. He said last week he had an interview, and we said, you know what, we're going to celebrate that, because guess what? Do you know how many people apply for jobs and they never get called for interview? I've seen posts. It's been 6 months, it's been 8 months, it's been over a year. I put in like 3,722 applications, and I haven't gotten one call. And it's hard. It's sad to hear. So when Darcel tells me that, he has an interview, and it went well, going to part 2, I'm like, I'm going to celebrate that. I am always going to celebrate that. So you need to put yourself out there. Put yourself out there. A lot of times we're afraid of the criticism and stuff like that, but criticism, no matter how it comes, whether it's harsh, whether it's kind, whatever the case may be, it is going to help you grow. They can say, oh, you sucked, it was stupid, whatever. You learn from that. In jiu-jitsu, we have the saying, you either win or you learn. And that's why whenever I've been learning a lot. Right, I've been learning a lot, but I don't get discouraged. Like I said in yesterday's video, I move on to the next. Always chasing the next thing. I don't harp on when things didn't go my way. I review it and say, okay, that's what I did wrong. Okay, let me make adjustments to it. And sometimes we do the same things wrong over and over and over again, but we're still learning. We're getting better every single day. And for you to get better, start learning new technologies. Start learning new softwares, learn new languages, and share it. The infrastructure that you might be working on, the things that you might be finding, share with other people. Present in sprint reviews. Ask questions about the application. Like if a lot of times what happens is, just to add to this before we wrap this one up, we might understand something, but you might want to ask a question to have it spoken about a little bit more, so that everybody can be on the same page, even if you understand it. But there might be other people who might be thinking something, and so you ask the question, and you guys have a discussion. Ask questions about the acceptance criteria. Ask questions about what's not working, and then they're gonna be like, oh yeah, like he's really thinking about what's going on. He's adding value. He's being productive. All right. So that's my thought. Let me know what your thoughts. Am I missing anything? Am I off on anything? All right. All right, we're going to wrap this one up with a bow on top.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.